Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Friends, I hope you are fine. And as I said before, I have come up with this video related to our NPTEL course of programming in Java. In this video, I have picked the most important bits I felt in week 1, week 2 and week 3 of our Java programming course. So guys, let's see the required explanation to understand those questions. So now let's start the video. So guys, please watch the video until the end so that you can learn something you don't know or something you have forgotten. So guys, let's move to first unit questions that we came across in our week 1 in our NPTEL course Java. So guys, if you see this question, which of the following cannot be used for variable name in Java? So guys, if you see these options, option A identifier, option B final, option C malloc, option D calloc. So guys, if you observe this final, final is actually a keyword. You know about final functionalities and the where to use this final keyword. Guys, the basic rule of any programming language is that we should not use keywords or other name reserved words. Reserved words. So guys, here finally is a reserved word that is used for particular purpose. Remaining all or not belongs to reserved words. Only final is a reserved word or keyword. So we should not use final as variable name in Java. So option B is correct answer for this question. So option B is correct. So let's move on to second question of this unit 1 second question. Which of the following are not common in both Java and C++? If you look at the table of Java and C++, here option A is class declaration. Both Java and C++ have classes and both have their own declarations. So this is common thing. And coming to option B, both have public, private, protected, private and test cases, and C++ also have those, so it is also a common point. And the encapsulation of data and methods. Guys, this is possible by putting the data in private, as we have seen this in option B also. So this is also common. In the final is multiple inheritance. Guys, we don't have multiple inheritance directly in Java. It is not there, and for C++ multiple inheritance is possible. So option D is not common in both Java and C++. So guys, if you understood it carefully, then we can mark this as correct answer for this question. It is not common for both Java and C++. It is only exists for C++ but not for Java. So let's move on to the third question. And the third question is, a Java file with extension .class contains. Guys, once look at this explanation. If we write a program in a notepad and name it as p1.java, that represent program 1, and here the class name is a. So if you save this as p1.java, and to compile we should say that java c space p1.java. So then it will get compiled and it will generate a .java file. So if you want to interpret or run this, we should use the command java space a. It means class name. It generates .class file. So this .class file contains bytecode. It means computer understandable language. So option C belongs to this Java bytecode. So mark this as correct answer. Coming to the last question, I hope in unit 1, which of the following is true? So guys, as I said in the above question, we want to compile, we use java c space and something like p1.java, and we want to run, we use java space a. This is class name and this is file name. So if we want to compile, we use this command, and to interpret we use this command. So in cmd we will follow first compilation, so that .java file is generated, and when we interpret as java space a .class file is generated. So we use both interpreter and compiler. So option C is true, that is Java uses both interpreter and compiler. So guys, let's move on to second unit, that is we can read the first question. Which of the following is not true about a method in class? Friends, if we look at the options, this is very common that a method can be defined recursively and can be defined without any statement in it. It's a kind of method which can be again defined recursively, and it is also defined with variable number of arguments passed into it. So guys, the question is about not true about a method in class. Guys, here the method is not a constructor first of all, and it can be, but the statement is correct that it can be defined recursively, because we use that method to print or to return the required code that we already used in other method. So guys, it can be defined recursively, but it's not a special kind of method. Let class be a, and we can represent it as constructor. So guys, it's not a constructor, it's not a special kind of method. So option C is not true about a method in a class. For this, option C is correct answer. And coming to next question, which of the following is called when a method having the same name as that of the class where it is defined? So guys, let the class name is as shown above, let it is class A, and the method is same to that of, sorry, the constructor is same to that of class name. So the question, when a method having same name as that of the class where it is defined, so it is defined in constructor, that is this one. So constructor is correct answer for this question. Coming on to next question, which of the following is a class in Java? Guys, if you clearly look these options, int, short and double, all these are data types, that is basic or primitive data types. It is used to say whether it is an integer or short number or double, but string is a class. So this is different from all the three, so string is correct answer for this question. And next question, which of the following is are true about print and println methods? So guys, here in this question, before that we should know that print method, it only prints single line only, and println also the purpose is same that of print statement only. So guys, but we can print multiple lines by using slash n. We can use slash n for multiple lines. So from the four options, the correct answer is option C, that is println prints in a single line only and multiple lines cannot be printed. So option C is the correct answer for this question. So guys, here in this question, println prints in a single line and multiple lines cannot be printed. It only says about it will print single line only, but when it comes to this, we can understand as it will never print multiple lines. This is wrong answer, because as I said, slash n is used to print multiple lines. So up to here it is correct answer, but when it comes to this part it is wrong answer. So when it look first option, print statement prints in a single line only and multiple lines cannot be printed in any way. As similar to C option, A is also correct up to this part only, and this is not correct. You can use slash n, backslash n. So when it comes to option C, prints the statement and then appends a line break. Unless we use this line break, it will not do this. So D is also wrong answer, and remaining is option B, println prints and then appends a line break. This is correct answer. So option B is correct answer. but all A, C, D are wrong answers. All are correct up to first part only, as like C option, and second part are wrong. Only option B is correct answer. And next question, and the final question in unit 2 is, which of the following is an invalid method overloading? So if you observe all the four options, static is a common, and here both are double, and here both are integer, here one integer one double, one integer one double. So they are calling the add method. Here they gave add method. So when you look the fourth option in this add method, int a int b, they returns finally the int value. So they have declared int for this add method, and it returns a into b. And in this double method, both are integers. For getting or to perform method overloading, we should make change in both return values or return types, and also signature is very important for changing to get method overloading. In this fourth option, it is violated here, as the return type has changed, but it is not only the factor to perform method overloading, but it should also perform this operation, that is signature should be changed. But here there is same signature, at least there should be one, it is int a and int b, and same signature here also occurs, so it is invalid, int a and int b. In all the above, first option int a double b and double a int b, both are different signatures. And next, int a int b, here three parameters is made, one extra parameter is added, so it it is a valid. And third option also same, so that c is added as extra variable, but here no signature is changed, so option D is wrong answer. That means D is invalid method overloading, and D is correct answer for this question. And coming to the final unit of this video, unit 3, and if I have picked just 3 questions in this unit, and these are very important in my view. So coming to this, the which of the following keyword can be used in a subclass to call constructor of superclass? So guys, if you look at these options, option A super, option B this, and option C extent, and option D extends. And the question is about keyword used in a subclass to call constructor of superclass. So guys, the correct answer will be option A superclass, because using the super keyword we can call base class constructor or parent class constructor or superclass. So super is the correct answer for this question. And moving on to next question, how can a protected member be accessed? Here protected member can be accessed access and the options accessibility only within the class, only within the package, accessible within the package as well as outside the package but through inheritance only, and option D, accessible to everyone. But friends, when you look at this, then we can say that C is correct answer, accessible both within and outside the package. But if we want to use outside the package, we should use inheritance. We should definitely use inheritance, as a protected member is accessible from any subclass or any child class. Suppose it is parent and it is subclass. If we write protected member, we can access this from any subclass. So option C is correct answer. And we look at final question in the unit 3. Which inheritance in Java programming is not supported? So guys, the correct answer for this is the option A, multiple inheritance using classes, option B, multiple inheritance using interfaces, and third option, multi-level inheritance, and option 4, single inheritance. So guys, if you look at this, Java has no support for multiple inheritance, as we all know, but it has multiple inheritance for interfaces. That is, if we have any methods which is not performed or yet to be performed, we can use interfaces to perform multiple inheritance in Java. So multi-level inheritance also supported, we know that, and single also supported. So the which method is not supported, that is option A. Option A is correct answer for this question. So guys, if you like the video, please like, share to your friends. If you're not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe our channel, and I'm ready to give you the more videos for 3 units up to the final week. So guys, please support my channel, and I hope you will continue your support in the future too.